Python online classes. Today we are in Unit 3, Session 1. Agenda of this topic: control statements, block diagram of control statements, types of control statements and definition, sequential control statements, selection control statements, iterative control statements, types of sequential control statements, if statement, if else statement, nested if statement, if, elif and else statement. So this is the agenda. Now we'll go to the next slide. What is control statement? So control statement is a statement that determines the control flow of a set of instructions. Let's take, in my program I have a n number of statements. So then whenever I have a n number of statement, I need to give a control for each and every statement. How that particular program should be executed one by one, or it should be skipped something, or it should execute two statements at a time and next two statements at a time, so on. So that we can call it as a controlling of that particular statements. So in my program I may have one or more instructions. I need to decide what is the sequence of the execution of the instructions. That we can call it as a control statements. So this is a block diagram of control statements. So as I said in agenda, control statements are divided into three types. So first type is sequential control statement, next is selection control statement, and third one iterative control statement. So we'll see one by one what is sequential, what is selection and what is iterative. So before going to the definition, just observe this diagram. Sequential control statement, I have a statement 1, statement 2, so on, statement n. That means in this particular type, sequential control statement, each and every statement will be executed one by one. First I will execute the statement 1, and next I will go to the statement 2, and next I will go to the statement 3, so on till statement n. And selection control statement, I have a statement 1, 2, 3, and thereafter I will have some test condition. So based on this test condition, I can go either true or false. I can choose any one of these two ways. So that means if condition is true, the statements which are available inside the true block, that particular statements will get executed. And if condition is false, then the statement will go to the false block. All the statements which are available in the false block, they will get executed. This we can call it as a selection control statement. So best example for the selection control statement is if conditions and if else conditions. We'll see in detail in next slides. Now we have iterative control statement. So here I have a one statement 1, and after that I have some test condition. So if this test condition is true, I will iterate that particular statements n number of times. That's where it's called as an iterative control statement. So until condition is true, I will iterate all the statements which are available inside this true blocks. If once condition gets failed, then I will come out from this iteration, and whatever statements are available after this false block, that particular statements will get executed. So these are the three different types of decision control statements. Now we will see in detail each and every one. First thing, sequential control statements. As I said earlier, the code of Python program executes sequentially from first line to program last line. So first line code will be executed first, and second line code will be executed next, and third line will be executed next, and so on until statement n. So such kind of programs we can call it as a sequential control statement. So we have seen n number of programs in sequential control statements. We will see in practical session of this particular example. We will move to the next slide. So selection control statement. What does it take? In some cases I want to execute only set of statement. I don't want to execute all the statements which are available in my program, but I want to execute only set of instructions. In that case, you can select as a selection control statement. So this method known as a selection control flow. So here what I have in my program, I have a statement 1 and thereafter I have a test condition and I have a 2 statements in and false statements. I want to execute statement 1 and condition and only 2 statement program. Then this condition should satisfy true. Then only I will execute this true block. If condition is fail, then I will execute only false block. That means if condition is true, then false block will get ignored. I will not execute this false block. If condition is false, then true block will get ignored. I will not execute true block, I will execute only false block. So that is nothing but I want to execute only set of statements. That we can call it as a selection control statement. So next, iterative control statement. So execute a set of statements repeatedly called as iterative control statements. That means I have some statement. Here inside this test condition I have a 2 condition, I have a n number of statements, and this n number of statement should be executed iterative, that means n number of times. In that scenario I can take iterative control statement. So your condition is true, so once condition is true it will execute true block, again it will check the condition. If condition is true, again it will go to the true block. If again condition is true, then again it will go to the true block. So such kind of scenario I need to use a iterative control flow. If condition is false, then it will come out from this condition and it will execute the false block statements, whatever after this condition statements. So this best example of iterative control statements is loops. So we can use loops to perform iterative control statements. We will move to the next slide. So selection or conditional control statements. So as I said earlier in agenda, selection and condition control contain 4 types: if statement, if else statement, nested if statement, and if else statement. So what is happened? So the decision control statement usually jumps from one part of the code to another depending on whether a particular condition is satisfied or not. So as I said earlier, if condition is satisfied, then it will go to the true block. If condition is dissatisfied, then it will go to the false block. So it will jump one block to another block based on the condition. That's the meaning of the first statement. Next, this will allow you to execute statement selectively on certain decision. So here is my decision, and based on this decision I can select either this particular statement or I can select this particular false statements. And next, Python supports different types of conditional branching statements, which are 4 different types: if statement, if else statement, nested if statement, if elif, and else statements. So we'll see each and every one in further slides. Sorry. Then if statement is a selection control statement based on the value of given Boolean expression. So it will select the particular control statement Boolean based on the Boolean expression. Boolean expression is nothing but our test condition. If structure may contain one statement or n statement enclosed within the if block. In the if condition I can have one statement or n statements. And first the text expression is evaluated. If expression is true, then if block will get executed. Otherwise the statements will be skipped and jump to the next statement which is outside of the if block. So what here I am saying, so if condition is true, then if block is executed. If condition is fail, then the statements will be executed after the if block. the block will get jumped automatically. So we'll see example of if statement. So here I have a syntax of if statement. If test expression is a boolean expression, if it is true, I will execute statement 1, 2, 3, so on, n number of statements. I can have one or more statements. If it is false, I can go to the statement X. It is outside of the if block. So this is what the syntax of the if statement. Here I have a simple program. So I say age is equal to input enter the age. I am taking the age from the user. If age is greater than 18, if input is greater than 18, then I am executing you are eligible to vote. If it is no, then I will write some other statement here. I will show you in the example. And output age I am entering 35. Age is greater than 18. Yes, then this if block will get executed. Will get output as you are eligible to vote. So this is how if block will get work. Sorry. Now here you can see the block diagram. So it's a test expression. If it is true, then body of if will get executed. Body of if will get executed. The body of if is nothing but this particular block will get executed. This is the body of if. If statement is false, then statement below of if will get executed. So that's how this if statement will work. Body of if is completed or statement is false, then this particular statement below to the if will get executed. Now we'll go to the next slide. If else statement. In a if else construct, the first test expression is evaluated. First we will evaluate the text expression. Next, if expression is true, statement block 1 is executed and statement block 2 is skipped. That means if it is true, block 1 will get executed and block 2 will get skipped. If otherwise, if expression is false, statement block 2 get executed and block 1 get ignored. So we will see what is block 1 and block 2 in next slide. So here text expression is there. I have a statement block 1 and else here is a else keyword and I have a statement block 2 and after completion of if else I have some other statements. So here is the block diagram of this if else statement syntax. So here is the test expression. If expression is true, I will go to the statement block 1. If expression is false, I will go to the statement block 2. This statement is completed, then I will go to the statement X. So here is a simple example. I am reading example, write a program to find whether the given number is even or odd. So this is my question and I am reading one integer n is equal number is equal to integer input enter any number. I am entering any number. Number percentage 2 is equal to 0. That means whenever I am dividing a number with the 2, if I get remainder is 0. I am writing this test expression into if condition. If remainder is 0, I know that's a even number. Number is even. If remainder is not 0, that means something else. That is nothing but whenever I divide with 2, I will get remainder either 0 or 1. So if remainder is 1, then the number is odd. That's an odd number. So enter any number, got 125 as an input and 125 does not divide with 0. So that remainder will not be 0, remainder is 1. Then I will go to the else block, statement block number 2. I will get 125 is a odd. So this is what happens with this particular example. We will see in practical session all the examples with the execution part also. Now we will go to the next slide. Nested if statement. To perform more complex, if statement can be nested. That is, can be placed one inside the other. What does it mean? In previous example, I have a simple condition. If I have a more conditions or a complex condition, then I can write a if condition inside the if condition. That we can call it as a nested if. So if statement can be nested. That is one that is can be placed one inside the other. So inside if condition I can place one more if condition. That we can call it as a nested if. In such case, inner if statement is the statement part of the outer one. So inner if statement will be known as a part of the outer one. That means outer if condition is true, then only inner if will get executed. Otherwise, it will not get executed. Nested if statements are used to check if more than one condition is satisfied. Whenever I have a more than one condition, then I need to use a nested if. So we'll see what is the example of this nested if in next slide. So here I have a simple program. Write a Python program to find the given number is positive or negative. If positive number, then compare with 100. If number is greater than 100, output display as high, otherwise display as low. So what I am saying here, if it is positive number, then compare with the 100. Then output is if it is greater than 100, then output is high, otherwise low. Here I need to check two conditions. First condition whether number is a positive or negative, and second condition whether number is greater than 200 or not. So I will read a number from the user. Number float, enter a number. If number is greater than 0, then automatically it's a positive. It's a outer if condition. This condition we can call it as the outer if condition. If it is a positive, then again I need to check number with the 100. If number is greater than 100, I will print high. If number is less than 100, then I will print low. So that when number is a positive. If number is less than 0, that means it's a negative. Directly I will jump to the else statement. I will say simply print negative number. So this particular example is known as a nested if statement. That means if condition inside the if condition. So this if condition is inside the outer if condition. So this if condition is known as a outer if condition, and this if condition is known as a inner if condition. So this is the example of nested if, and I will say enter a number. I entered a number as a 5. So number greater than 0, 5 is a greater than 0, it's a true. I will enter into the nested if. Number greater than 100, it's a false, condition is false. Then I will go to the else of the inner if, that is a low. So this is how this particular example will works. So it's a positive number and it's a low to the 100. So now I will go to the next slide. So here we have if, elif and else statements. So the elif statement allows to check multiple expression and execute block of statements wherever the condition returns true. Elif statement, what I will do, I can't write only one if, but I can write multiple if conditions apart from nested if. So that multiple if conditions, so I can write a multiple if condition and it will return true where condition gets satisfied. If condition is not satisfied, then it will go to the else block. We will see example. From there, if condition is true, it exits from the entire if, elif and else block. If condition is true. If any of the expression not returns true, so that means I have a multiple conditions. If all the expressions are false, then it executes the else block. So that's what happens with the if, elif and else statements. Now we'll see. So this is the block diagram of if, elif and else statement. First it will go to the test expression 1. If it is yes, it will execute the test statement 1 block. No, it will check the test expression 2. If it is true, then it will go to the statement block 2. If it's also no, then it will check with the test expression 3. If it is true, then it will go to the block number 3. If this is also false, then it will directly go to the body of the else. Yes, if if any one of these true, then it will directly out from the statement just below else if. So that if any one of this true, if it is else all these three conditions are fail, then it will go to the else block. So here I have a simple example. If statement text expression 1, statement block 1 get executed, as I said earlier, expression 2 is true, block 2 executed, so on. Expression n, block n will get executed, else statement block x will get executed, otherwise block y is nothing but out of the if else condition. So here is the program to test whether number entered by the user negative, positive or equal to 0. I need to check whether number is negative or positive or equal to 0. Three if conditions. So for that I will check if number is equal to 0. If it is 0, then the number value is equal to 0. First condition is completed. One condition is completed. If number greater than 0, so if the number is greater than 0, the number is positive. Obviously it's a positive condition. If this 2 or fail, that means the remaining part is negative. I will simply write the negative part in the else condition. So else the number is negative. So here I am reading one number from the user in the integer format. So output, enter any number. I have entered -10. The number is negative. I simply say number is negative. This is an example of if, elif and else statement. So that's all about PowerPoint presentation. Now we'll go to each and every example on practical session. So quickly we'll move to the Python IDE. So here I will have a Python IDE. I will take a new file. So first I said sequential control statements. Sequential control statements. Sequential control statement is nothing but the statements will get executed one by one. So one statement after another. So I will save this file into my Python folder. So Python, I say unit 3 sequential example .py. So A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, print A, print B. So these are the four statements are available in my file. This is a statement 1, and this one is a statement 2, this one is a statement 3, this one is a statement 4. So what will happen in this example? Each and every statement will executed one by one. First, my Python interpreter will execute A is equal to 10, and then it will execute B is equal to 20, and thereafter it will print A, and then it will print B. So this is what happens with the sequential control statement, one after another one. So if I run this code, I will get print A, B because I have only two print statements. So this print statement will get printed, and next B will get printed. So I will say OK, 10, 20. So that's how sequential control statement will work. And now we'll see one more example as control N, decision control statement or condition control. Home condition. So that is nothing but if else. So I say A is equal to 10 if A greater than 20. Print say if block executed, else print else block executed. So here I will take A as a input so that it will be easy for you. Here input, enter a number. So here reading input from user, and this statement I am checking the test expression. Test expression check whether input is greater than 20 or not. So if given input is greater than 20, it will go to the block 1. This is a block 1, that is nothing but this block. If condition is fail, it will go to the block 2. So here, so expression is true. Expression is true, and this is expression is false. Expression is false. Which expression? Test expression. So whenever we have a test expression, if it is a true, it's a false. So this example works for your if else condition also. So I will not repeat again if else. Conditional example. So what I will do, so what I am doing here, I am reading input from the user as a, and if a greater than 20, then if block is executed. Else block will get executed. So here I will write some more convenient. A is greater than 20. A is greater than 20. Here I will write A is less than 20. If it is not greater than, obviously it's less than or equal 20. So this is our output. So I will run this code, run module. So if I enter 15 is a less than to the 20, then I will go to the else block. Else block executed, A is less than or equal to 20. Fine. I will take one more as 21. 21 is greater than, if block executed, A is greater than 20. I will take equal. So I will read input as a 20. This block executed, A is less than or equal to 20. This is how if else condition will work. This is what we can call it as a conditional expression. And next we have a iterative expression, iterative control. So I will take one more file. So I say iterative example.py. Iterative control example. So what according to definition, iterative control is nothing but executing one statement repeatedly. I want to execute a particular statement repeatedly n number of times. So here loops are very important. I say while. So first I will take A is equal to 1. While A less than 5 or 4. I have a statement print A is equal to A plus 1. After completion of this block control statement, print end of the program. That means condition is failed. It will come into the out of the loop. So here I say A is equal to 1 while A greater than 4. So A greater than 4 is a true or false? It's a false, because A is 1, A greater than 4 is a false. Then these particular conditions will not get executed. So directly I will come to the end of the program. So first I will run this code. So run module. So obviously end of the program, because condition is failed. So A greater than 4 is a condition is false. Once condition is false, then it will come out from the loop. Come out from this loop block. If condition is true, that means I need to change this condition less than. So condition is true, then what will happen? It will print this statement until condition is true. Clear? So print A. So what will happen? So first A is equal to 1. Then A less than 4. It is true or false? True. Then print A. That means I will print 1. So new line. And next A is equal to A plus 2. That means A will become 2. Clear? So I will write here. It's a value. Observe here the flow of execution. Assume that it's a it's a plus 1. So initially A value is 1 and I have a condition always. What is condition? A less than 4 and print A. So this is my 4 statements which I have in this program. A is equal to 1 and A less than 4 condition and print A is equal to A plus 1. These are the statements I have. So initially A is equal to 1, condition is true or false? So condition is true. Condition is true. When condition is true, I need to print this, I need to execute the statements repeatedly. I will execute this, print A. Print A means it will print A value as a 1. And next statement is, I have statement as A is equal to A plus 1. That means 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So A value become 2. So next iteration. Now it will check the condition. So A will become 2 now. 2 less than 4. So condition is true. 2 less than 4 also true. Condition is true according to 2 less than 4. So here 1 less than 4 and here 2 less than 4. True. And I will print A. I will go into this block. So A will get print 2. Next I have a 2 plus 1. A is equal to A plus 1, that is nothing but 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. And now A will become 3. And again condition 3 less than 4. Is it true or false? 3 less than 4 is true. So once condition is true, I will go to the A will become print A. That is 3. It will print 3. Next A will become 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So now here A will become 4. Now it will go to the 4. So now condition 4 less than 4. Now this condition 4 less than 4, true or false? It's a false. So false means it will not go into this particular loop block. It will end. So here nothing will come and here also I will get nothing. So at the end I will get end of the program. End of the program. Out of the loop. So this is how this particular execution will get happens. End of the program. Now I will execute this program. So once I execute this program, I will get output as 1, 2, 3. I will get output as 1, 2, 3, whatever we have in this print statement. So I will run this code. Run module. So I will get 1, 2, 3 end of the program. These are my outputs. Clear? So this is what we can call it as a iterative control statement. So now we will see 4 more types of if conditions. So I will take one. So I will save if example dot Python. So here if example. Only if condition example. So I take A is equal to 5 for if A less than 5 int Only if block is available. I don't have any other blocks and other statements. So I say print end of if, end of program. After completion of if, I am saying print. So this is a test expression. Test expression L less than 5. That's it. It's a block 1. It's a block 1. So here I have only if. I don't have any else condition. That's it. This is the example of if statement. So whenever I run this program, a less than 5, a is equal to 4, 4 less than 5, it's a 2, it will print 2 and as well as end of the program. So I will run, save, so 2, end of the program. If I modify this condition as 3, a less than 3, it's a false, then it will not go to the if block, directly it will go to the outside of the if block. That means end of the program. So I will run this code, run, end of the program. This is how if block will get works. And next example is if else example. So if else example already you have seen in this example. So this is a if else example. And now we will have the nested if condition. Nested if condition. If condition inside the if condition. So I will take one more file. So I will save as nested if example.py. So nested if example. So I will write one simple question here. My question: read a number from user, or else I will write read marks from user if marks are above 35, it was then print grade A if we got above 80 or grade as B. This is our question. So pass condition also I need to write. Minimum marks pass is 50. So what is my question? Read marks from user. Read marks from user. If he passed, then print grade A. If he got above 80, print grade B or print grade B. If he got less than 80, then print grade B. Minimum marks to get pass is 50. So first I need to check whether student is pass or fail. So first I need to read marks. Marks is equal to inputs enter marks. So I will enter marks. Reading marks from user. If marks greater than or equal to 50, then he is passed. Yes, he is passed. Print pass. Else print fail. So this is the normal if condition. But I have a nested if. What is again? If marks are greater than 80, then print grade A, otherwise print grade B. Then I need to write a if inside the if. If marks are greater than 80, grade is B. So this is a nested if condition. So this is a outer if test condition, and this is a inner if test condition, and this is a else block. This is a inner if else block, and this is outer else block. So this is our code. So first observe the code carefully, and then we will see what's happening here. So first I am entering the marks from the user. If marks are less than 50, then directly this if condition will get fail. I will go to the else, outer else condition. Then I will print fail. First I will check that condition. So marks are 43. So directly fail. That means I am skipping this inner if. Inner if based on the outer if only. This particular block is skipped. If this if condition is true, then inner if will get place major role. So now I will enter the marks as 50 plus. That means 60 or something else. So I have a marks as a 60. So when marks is 60, this condition is true, but this particular condition is false. Then I will execute grade is B. Grade is B and is pass. Okay. And I will enter marks as 80 plus 82. So marks is greater than 50 is pass, and grade I will get the grade as A. 82. Grade is A and is pass. So that is what happens with the nested if. So inner if condition is purely based on the outer if condition. If outer if condition is true, then only inner if condition will get executed. Otherwise, it will get failed directly. It will skip this particular block and it will go to the else block. So this is the example of nested if condition. So we'll take one more example. So if else example. If example. So this if else example will be useful to test multiple conditions. Then you need to use a if, elif and else blocks. So for example, I have number is equivalent to positive, a negative or 0 as in same as like as PPT code. So I will take one number is equal int input if number is equal to 0, print 0. If number is greater than 0, print positive. Else it is negative. So what's happening here? I am reading the number. If number is equivalent to 0, this is a if block, if test condition. If test condition. If this condition is true, then directly it will print the 0 and it will exit from this code. And this is a elif test condition. If test condition. This condition is checked when if condition is failed. If this condition is failed, I will check this particular condition. If this condition is true, it will print positive and exit. If both the conditions are failed, then then I will go to the else block. So this is a else. Then I will print a negative. After all this thing, I need to come out from the print if block. Then I will say print end of the program. End of the. So I need to check multiple conditions here. In this multiple condition, any one of these conditions are true, then that particular block will get executed. If no condition is true, then else block will get executed. This is the use of if, elif and else statements. Now I will run this program. Run module. Okay. I will take number as a 0. So number is equal to 0. This condition is true. I will directly print 0 and exit from this if, elif, else. Go to the end of the program. Say 0 end of the program. It's okay. Now I will go to the another execution. So number is 10. So number is 0, it's a fail, and number greater than 0, it's a true. I will print positive and I will go to the end of the program. So positive end of the program. That's okay. Now I will check one more example. So I take negative number, negative 3, minus 3. Number is equal to 0 is a fail. Number greater than 0 also fail. When these two conditions are fail, I will go to the else block as a negative and the end of the program. So I say negative and end of the program. This is how if, elif and else block will get works. So these are the all examples of 4 different types of if conditions and as well as 3 different types of control statements as sequential control statement and decision control statement and iterative control statements. So that's all for today. If you have any doubts, you can contact me in Google Classroom Meet session or else through WhatsApp if you have any doubts. That's all for today. Have a nice day. See you soon. Bye.